What's up, everybody? Hope you had a good start to your week. Let's take a look at some stocks that are catching my eye for tomorrow. Starting here with Solar Edge. Um, this one looks interesting to me. So what do we got here on the weekly? We have strong weekly ADX. So the ADX, the black line above 25, shows strong trend integrity on this up move. Then we see this pullback on low declining ADX tells us this pullback is lacks integrity. So want to look for buying opportunities. So at key areas of interest. So I've marked out these previous resistance levels. So that's right where we're trading right now. Also traded down into the 20-week SMA. Which is also confluent with that 100-day SMA. Didn't quite touch the 100-day, but it did touch that 20-week moving average. We see the 20-week or the weekly relative strength is also generally in an uptrend. We see that here is just reflected in this relative strength. So over the longer term or the higher time frame, this is outperforming the broader market. I also like that last week we had a higher low on the weekly, so we failed to take out the previous week low last week. We actually rallied up to the high. This thing looks really good. We saw today the bull stepped up with a bullish engulfing candle, so we fully engulfed Friday's action. So I'm looking to get long with a trade if it trades up above Monday's high. It's a 12.37% stop, which is wider than the 10.09% ADR. But I'm still willing to take it. I mean, even if it cruises back up to this high and this, so we're making swing low, swing high, swing low. Does it make it all the way back up to there? Possibly. That's a 40% move with 12% risk, so that's worth it for me. I'm okay with these wider stops based on the daily. I'd ideally like to see it tighter. Like ideally, it gets tight in here. Maybe get another day of tightness and allow me to use a bit of a tighter stop. We see over here on the right hand chart too, the 65-minute chart. Put that on the regular trading hours. We see we are above a rising 5-day moving average as well. So this one looks really good. Probably the one I like the most really going into tomorrow. Cisco is interesting to me as well. So we've got this strong weekly ADX on the up move, and we've pulled back on generally flat or low ADX. We see the relative strength on the weekly is in an uptrend, so we are outperforming the market, even though the relative strength line itself has pulled back or it's been underperforming the market over the last few weeks. Still see the trend is for this thing to outperform the market. So we've traded down into the rising 10-week moving average. Didn't quite hit the 50-day SMA here today, but what I like about today's action is we made a higher low so that we failed to take out Friday's lows. I'll be looking to get long Cisco if we can trade above Monday's high tomorrow. My stop would go below Friday's low. That's a 3.1% stop on an average daily range of 3.23, so that's okay. So if we break out of this, up to the top, that's a 13% move. Kind of into this gap area too on the left. So I like this. We also see on the daily this decline has happened on low ADX. So the ADX declined on this pullback tells us the selling lacks integrity. So we like to see that. Heading over to Wi-Fi. This one is interesting to me. I kind of like the fact that it's an IPO base. We've got this big cup with handle. We pulled back into this previous area of resistance, has potential to become support. Hasn't quite hit the 10-week SMA. We are at the 20-day SMA. Flies in the ointment for this one for me are the volume. So we see 2 weeks in a row of above average selling volume. That's on the weekly. On the left, we can see those red volume bars. So there's some heavy selling going on. If we look at the daily, we see quite a few red bars. So that's above average selling days. And the distribution count is getting pretty high. 4 distribution or above average selling days within the last 25 days. So that's flies in the ointment. However, just the general look of it, I like the fact that the weekly ADX is getting up over 25 on the weekly. This pullback has seen declining ADX. So this is there's enough things going for it. It's it's worth taking a shot for me. We see the weekly relative strength is in a nice uptrend. Same with the daily. So I like Wi-Fi or white fiber. Qualcomm is interesting. This one's a bit different looking than these other setups, but what I'm seeing on this is basically strong weekly ADX on this up move, and then we pull back on declining ADX. selling volume last week dried up quite a bit. We got below average selling volume right into that 20-week SMA. We are underperforming. So this one is, ideally let this build out a base a bit more. Let this relative strength start to get back into an uptrend on the daily before taking a shot at this. I might even take this off my list by tomorrow. But it's one that I'm watching. We got a higher low here today on the daily. We failed to take out Friday's low, got a nice bullish close above Friday's high. So this one looks interesting. I don't know. I'm on the fence about this. Might take it off my list. Been looking for ways to get involved in the biotech and healthcare sector, and Eli Lilly is kind of one of my top focuses. So what I like about it is the weekly is in a nice uptrend here. Had a weekly bullish ADX, so this trend has a lot of integrity. Last week took a bit of a breather, and basically we got a nice relative strength uptrend, and we've kind of just drifted sideways, and we're kind of holding above this previous all-time high, so that we're just kind of drifting down into this on low volume. So we see we had an inside bar today. So Monday's range was contained within Friday's range. So I like the fact that the volume got really nice and low here today. So I'm considering taking a long on this if we trade up to Monday's high, and I'll put a stop nice and tight below Monday's low. And then lastly, LXRX. This is a a pharmaceutical company. So basically nice weekly ADX and an uptrend. Last week we saw some selling, but it was controlled. It wasn't over the top selling. We're pulling back into the 10-day SMA. This one may not be on my list come tomorrow, just because it closed way down at the lows here. If it in the morning it's down here, I'll just take this off my list. But basically, this is a higher low on the daily, right into the 10 SMA on a really low volume here. Nice volume dry up. We see the daily ADX is starting to pick up as well. So strong relative strength, strong ADX, low volume on the pullback here, higher low. So if we can trade up to Monday's high, I'll take a long with a stop below Friday's low. That's a 6.19% stop on a 6.5% ADR stock. So even if it gets up to this previous high, that's a nice just about 2-to-1 risk reward. And this one looks like it has it in it to go quite strong. Look at the I'll show you kind of what I'm looking at. It's just similar sort of setup as last time it rallied up. It had a pullback into, in this case, the 10-week SMA, but then you watch for where the bulls step up, which is right here. The bulls put in a bullish candle at that key area of interest, get long there with your stop down here, and has a nice big run. That's just what I'm looking to do here. It's just at a faster term or faster moving average, just being the 10-day. So it didn't like the 10-day last time. It ended up not respecting it. So it's possible that this thing doesn't like the 10-day SMA. Just looking back at it, doesn't respect it too much. It respected it here, didn't respect it there. It has a tendency to respect the 50. So I'm taking this trade eyes wide open that, it might just have to take a bigger pullback and get to the 50. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Curious to know what you folks are looking at out there. If you think I've missed any charts, or if maybe you think I missed something in what I'm watching here, let me know. All these charts that I'm looking at, they have good sector relative strength. And yeah, that's it for tomorrow. Have a good night, you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.